Hello dear viewers, welcome to ERi-TV English News Broadcast with me Bersabet Taghla. These are the major headlines for today. The National Union of Eritrean Women held its annual activity assessment meeting. Discussion forum on the role of youth in national affairs organized in Germany. Winter storm hits in U.S. 200 million Americans. And M23 rebels hand over strategic position in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. On your local news, the Central Committee of the National Union of Eritrean Women held its annual activity assessment meeting on 23 December in Asmara. At the meeting, heads of the union branches of the 6 regions, as well as Sawa and higher education institution and the diaspora branches, presented reports focusing on recruitment of young women to the union, strengthening awareness and organization of women, as well as programs aimed at developing the economic capacity of women. Heads of departments of the union in the central office, on their part, gave extensive briefings on the efforts exerted to develop the economic capacity of the union and members, effort to improve the livelihoods of members through initiating income generation schemes, participation of women in national affairs, as well as in developing political awareness of members. The heads of departments also said that strong effort has been exerted to get legal solution to underage marriages and female genital mutilation. Proper response has been given to a number of questions and legal cases of women. The programs through the mass media have significantly contributed in developing the overall understanding of women, and activities of the union branches in the diaspora have been encouraging. The meeting also held a discussion on the programs for 2023. Commending the strong participation and contribution of women in the national development programs and nation-building process, Mr. Khatisfa Mikhail, President of the National Union of Eritrean Women, called for integrating resources as in the past and discharged their timely responsibilities. Members of the youth organization in North Rhine-Westphalia, Germany, organized discussion forum on 11 December in Cologne, focusing on the role and contribution of the youth in the national affairs. At the meeting, in which youth from the cities of Dusseldorf and Wuppertal and its environs took part, extensive discussion was conducted on the objective and significance of the YPFDJ organization, as well as on the timely responsibility of the youth. Pointing out that the question of the youth is the question of the society and that the history of the armed struggle for independence is the history of the Eritrean youth, Mr. Kahsai Tewalde, head of public and community affairs, called for developing awareness and organization and strengthen participation in the national affairs. Mr. Kibrat Takhaste, Eritrean Consul General in Frankfurt, on his part gave extensive briefing focusing on the concept of nation and nationalism, process of nation building and identity, role of national ideology in the political and armed struggle, as well as experience of the 30 years of independence in terms of nation-building process. The participants on their part conducted extensive discussion related to timely responsibility of the youth and expressed conviction to strengthen organizational capacity and participation in the national affairs. On your last local report, the Ministry of Education branch in Emna Haile subzone organized training on administration and leadership to supervisors and teachers in the subzone. Dr. Halima Mohammed and Mr. Fisahaye Kidane from the Ministry of Education that preceded the program called on school directors to fulfill their professional responsibility with a view to develop the teaching-learning process and students and parents to play due part in the effort. Dr. Tedros Siyum, advisor to the Human Resources Development at the Ministry of Education, also called for school communities and parents to conduct integrated efforts to develop competence and interest of students in their education. Explaining on the significance of the training in developing the overall competence of supervisors and teachers, Mr. Mereh Kiros, head of the education branch in the subzone, called on the trainees to apply the training they took in the development of the teaching-learning process. In Emna Haile subzone, there are 31 schools ranging from preschool to high school. Coming up will be international news, dear viewers, after the short break. Welcome back. Some 200 million Americans are feeling the icy grip of a massive winter storm that has been linked to at least 19 deaths ahead of the holiday weekend. More than 1.5 million people lost power and thousands of flights were cancelled yesterday. The vast storm extends more than 3,200 kilometers from Texas to Quebec. A bomb cyclone has brought blizzard conditions to the Great Lakes on the U.S.-Canada border. In Canada, Ontario and Quebec were bearing the brunt of the Arctic blast with power cut to hundreds of thousands. Much of the rest of the country, from British Columbia to Newfoundland, was under extreme cold and winter storm warnings. The U.S. National Weather Service said its Friday map depicts one of the greatest extents of winter weather warnings and advisories ever. On your last report, in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, M23 rebels met soldiers from the regional military force on Friday to hand over a strategic frontline position near the major eastern city of Goma. According to AFP, the handover follows heavy international pressure on the M23 rebel movement to lay down arms. The representative of the recently deployed East African Community Military Force said the handover was a positive indicator for the region plagued by violence. According to General Jeff Niaga, the M23 withdrawal and subsequent takeover by East African Regional Force in areas under control is a positive indicator that the agreed-upon strategy of restoring normalcy in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo remains on course. In late November, Congolese and Rwandan representatives met in the Angolan capital, Luanda, to reach a truce agreement. You're still watching ERi-TV, dear viewers, and now a recap of today's major headlines. The National Union of Eritrean Women held its annual activity assessment meeting. Discussion forum on the role of youth in national affairs organized in Germany. Winter storm in U.S. hits 200 million Americans. And M23 rebels hand over strategic position in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. Dear viewers, that was all for today. Thanks for watching and have a good one.